into Manitoba kind of, something you want to do, we found out that Manitoba is one of the provinces actually which has a very balanced economic status. And among the provinces from Canada, Manitoba has the province had been able to maintain a steady economic situation throughout, though other provinces had faced ups and downs. So that I hope would be a moving factor for you guys if you all are on the fence whether you all want to change the province or not. Okay, so that is about Manitoba. I'll speak a very few words about ourselves. We are Ardent Immigration Inc. and also Ardent Law Group. We are in fact into Canadian immigration consultants, as well as when it comes to the law group, we do mostly civil matters, so family law, property law, etc., etc. So apart from those, we also represent clients for refugee matters, human and H&C matters, or human and compassionate grounds matters, detention reviews, inadmissibility reviews, things like that. So if you guys face any problem with something legal to do with within Canada, you guys can always contact us. And our team is headed by Mr. Sachira Vimalavira. He first became a Canadian immigration consultant, a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and later on became a barrister and solicitor, registered with the province of Alberta, Law Society of Province of Alberta. So we are made up of a team of about, I'd say, 20-25 people. We work both in Canada as well as in Sri Lanka. So you guys will be able to get our contact details. I'm, I'm, if I'm not mistaken, it will be on the last slide we are presenting today. So if you guys have any problem at all, if you want to contact us, you will have the contact details at hand. Also, one other thing I want to share with you guys is that today, by the end of the session, we will have a Q&A session. So from all the things Mr. Sachira will be sharing with you today as the immigration consultant, I am sure you guys would have a lot of questions. Maybe directly regarding the Manitoba PNP, might as well be about other immigration, pathways as well. But anyway, if you guys have questions, you guys can start putting the questions on the chat now itself. We don't mind. And at the end of the session, in the Q&A session, we will be answering the questions. Mr. Sachira would answer the questions, but we will only answer the general questions that you guys have, not the case specific ones, because we don't want to harm your privacy and discuss your personal matters on a public platform. But anyway, if you still have a personal, a case specific question, you still can contact us through our email. Just send us an email with your updated CV, and our team will get back to you and we will set you up for a consultation that would be more professional and more comfortable for you guys, rather than sharing your private details on a public platform. Anyway, if you guys have questions, you can start putting them on the chat right now. Throughout the webinar, we'll make sure to answer them as much as possible. But if we by any chance miss answering a question or two, we will anyway get back to you, because we will be maintaining records on the questions you guys have asked. Also, this webinar is kind of special because we thought of offering you guys something a little bit of advantages. Most of you guys know that these days the French-speaking candidates for PR are getting a lot of benefits. So we have our own French teacher on board. So I would introduce her to you guys towards the end of the session. But anyway, if you all want to start French lessons with us, and if you since you guys are registered today with the webinar with Ardent, I'm sorry, excuse me. We are going to offer you a small discount from the entire fee you have to pay to us to the for the French class. Make sure that when you are forwarding the inquiry about the French class, mention that you participated in today's webinar, and make sure to use the same email you guys registered us with. So yeah, it'll be easier to track you guys and allow you to have the discount. So that would be towards the end of the session. Okay, that is pretty much it about the introductions and the other offers we have to make to you. So today we will be talking about the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, and we will be actually Mr. Sachira will be talking to you guys in detail about the pathways that are available. And I hope, I think you guys heard me. I hope you guys would have an engaging session. So please put your questions on the chat and we will be, we'll take it from here.
Hi, everyone. So I hope you all doing good. First of all, so please have your the mic mute, because the thing is, then otherwise it will interrupt the other participant as well. So as Ms. Kamadi mentioned, so if you have any question, you can put it in our chat box, and then at the end of the session, that I will be answering, and also any case specific, any the questions will not be answering as Ms. Kamadi invite you guys. You can contact us and do a consultation, and then we can answer those. And I know that many of you guys have a lot of questions, very complex situation due to new rules changes. And then, but we are here to help you. I know most of you guys moved to Canada to get your PR, and also at the same time there are people joining from outside Canada too, from other countries. So their primary target is move to Canada, and then eventually get the permanent residence for them and also for their family. So without any delay, we'll start. So when it comes to the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, this is basically a pathway for our skilled workers. When it comes to skilled workers, you may be inside Canada, maybe you're outside Canada. When it comes to skilled workers, doesn't mean that you are on, like, you are not limited to like the LMIA based work permit, the workers on LMIA based work permits, or the workers on LMIA exempt work permit. Let's say, for example, if you are on spousal open work permit, you falls under skilled workers. But it depends on the occupation level. And let's say, for example, if you're on PGWP, that also falls under skilled workers. And the other category is students. If you're a student, you have a way to get the PR in Manitoba, and also through Express Entry. And also business investors. Like there are pathways. If you graduated from an institute in Manitoba, you can, if you are an entrepreneur, you can get the permanent residency. And also if you are outside Canada, still there's a pathway in Manitoba. You can through business investors stream, you can get your permanent residency. So when it comes to this provincial Manitoba provincial nominees, this program that allows the Manitoba to select these skilled workers, or the international graduates, or the business investors who can contribute to the Manitoba province economy. So there are multiple streams which I will be discussing. Those are designed to meet Manitoba's labor market and economic needs. So let's see what are these streams are. So when you talk about these streams, there are three main categories we can discuss. Like I said, skilled worker stream, and also the international education stream, and also the business investor stream. And then after that, I'll be discussing about the express entry, which is a faster way for you to get the PR, and also new changes they brought for the category-based selections, and also new announcement that they have made actually yesterday. It will be beneficial for you all when you when you're in the process of getting your permanent residency. So first of all, we'll talk about this skilled workers in Manitoba. So when we talk about the skilled workers in Manitoba, first of all, mainly that you should show that you have an ongoing Manitoba employment. That means, so you should have a valid work permit, and also a Manitoba company should offer you a full-time work, like full-time job offer. So based on this job offer, based on this work permit, if you are working at least 6 months, continuous full-time working in Manitoba, you can apply for this program. However, there are some work categories that's not going to fall under this 6 months working experience. Like let's say, for example, if you're self-employed, if you're working in unauthorized work, like let's say, for example, you are out of status, in Canada, you are working, it's not going to count. If you work on cash, which is illegal, it's not going to count. And also, if your employment during which you are engaged in full-time studies, like let's say, for example, the working experience you gain on your co-op work permit does not going to count towards this working experience. So if you graduated from a post-secondary program in another Canadian province, and you want to apply for the skilled worker in Manitoba pathway, and also you have been offered a job offer in Manitoba, then you are eligible. This is very important factor. I know like there are many students from BC, Ontario, they are contacting us because they are about to expire their PGWP, right? So they want to move to another province. So they are asking what are the best provinces that they can move and get their PR. Manitoba is one of that, like one of that province. Like, because even though you graduated from a post-secondary program in another province, if you have a job offer, you can apply for this program. However, you should work at least 1 year to eligible for the Provincial Nominee Program in Manitoba. But they're giving priority for students who are graduated from post-secondary institution in Manitoba. But for them, for those students, they only need to work just 6 months in order to eligible for the Manitoba nominee. But if you're studied outside Manitoba, like Ontario, BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, or the Atlantic provinces, you should have a job offer, plus you should work at least 1 year based on that work permit. So when you talk about the skilled workers, like I said, we'll talk about the temporary foreign workers. You may be on spousal open work permit, you may be on PGWP, you may be on LMIA-based work permit, you may be on LMIA exempt work permit. This is for you. Or otherwise, like let's say, for example, if you're planning to move to Manitoba, this is for you. If you have an offer of long-term employment, and also if you have the qualification to perform that job, that you have the particular training, you have the particular education to perform that job. If you have the required English or French proficiency level to perform that job, and also if you have a connection to Manitoba through this employment, and also if you can show a settlement plan that your intention to live, work, and establish your work and family life in Manitoba as a permanent resident, then this stream for you. You should have a job offer, You have the qualification to perform that job. You have the education to perform that job. Your English level, and also your French education level. English or French language level is okay. And also you can provide a settlement plan that you are genuinely intention, like you have the genuine intention to reside and live and work in Manitoba, even after the nomination, even after becoming a permanent resident. This is for you. So if you talk about the international students, there are international students in Manitoba post-secondary institution. If you want to become a permanent resident in Manitoba, this stream is for you. When it comes to this stream is mainly for graduates of Manitoba post-secondary education institution. Only they're going to consider. So you are eligible if your Manitoba employer offer you a long-term job following 6 months of continuous full-time employment on a valid post-graduate work permit. So you studied in a post-secondary institution in Manitoba. First thing, you are on PGWP, and also you have a job offer from your employer. You have at least 6 months working experience. You can apply for that. Like I said earlier, if you are in another province, you need to have 1 year. But if you're in Manitoba, you graduated from Manitoba, you need just 6 months. The conditions are, you should attend, like I said, graduated from a Manitoba Institute. Your program should be a full-time program, at least 1 year academic program should be. Like there are some graduates program that I know the students are coming for 8 months, still it's gonna consider as 1 year, right? And also you should have your degree certificate or the diploma certificate, and you have 6 months working experience. You showed your settlement plan that your intention to live and work in Manitoba, and also you have your connection to Manitoba through your employment, and also you have your required English and French proficiency. Then you can apply for Manitoba PNP based on this. So this is that. So now we'll talk about the skilled workers overseas. Skilled workers overseas mean you are a skilled worker. That means the skilled worker means you are doing a job on tier 0, 1, 2, 3. You have the working experience and you want to move to Manitoba and get PR. We'll talk about this skilled worker overseas program. So when you talk about this skilled worker overseas, like any province, when they want to give nomination to a candidate, maybe you are living in that province, maybe you living in out of the province, or if you're living in another country out of Canada, the province need to see what is the connection this candidate has to our province. So even in Manitoba too, likewise, you should show what is your connection to Manitoba. This connection can be shown in 3 ways: Manitoba support, Manitoba experience, and Manitoba invitation. We'll talk about these 3. First of all, when you talk about the Manitoba support, that means you should have a support from a family member or a friend. Manitoba experience means you should have the previous education or previous work experience in Manitoba. Manitoba invitation means there are sometimes province provide invitation to apply directly from the Manitoba as a part of strategic recruitment initiatives. So if you have received the invitation in this way, then you can apply for this program. If you're going to apply as a skilled worker overseas stream, you need to have at least 60 in scores. So you get this score based on your language proficiency, your age, your work experience, your education, and your adaptability. But let's say, for example, you don't have any connection to Manitoba, but because of the other components, you have over 60, you're not going to eligible. You need to show a connection to Manitoba. Now we'll see how this score gonna calculate. So okay, give me a sec. So I believe you can see my screen. So these are these are the 5 factors that I mentioned earlier. So when you get the language proficiency, this is how you're gonna get marks. So maximum, you're gonna get 25 marks. You can see if you have CLB 8 or higher, you're gonna get 20 marks. But based on CLB 4, 5, 6, 7, your marks are gonna go high. And when you see the age, maximum point you'll be getting is 10 marks. But you're gonna get this 10 marks if your age is between 21 to 45. But if your age is 50 or higher, you're not gonna get any marks. When it comes to the working experience, the maximum point is 15 marks. So if you have the 4 years more or more experience, you'll be getting 15 marks. Even though you have 5 years working experience, still 15. 6 years working experience, you're still getting 15. When you get the education, the maximum point you'll be getting 25. If you have a master's program, you'll be getting the maximum your score. Adaptability. This part is very important. When you come to maximum point is 25 you'll be getting. If you have close relative in Manitoba, you'll be getting 20. If you receive that invitation that I mentioned earlier, you'll be getting 20. If you have the work experience in Manitoba, at least you have 6 months working experience, you'll be getting 12 marks. You completed a post-secondary program of 2 years, you get 12 marks. If you completed a post-secondary program, at least 1 year, you'll be getting 10 marks. If you have the friends or distant relatives living in Manitoba, you'll be getting 10 marks. When you get this regional immigration, this is also a very important part. Regional immigration means, let's say, for example, you will be establishing in Winnipeg, which is the main town, main city in Manitoba, you'll not be getting this 5. Let's say, for example, if you are settling down in outside of Winnipeg, like Gimli, St. Malos, like those kind of like towns, then you'll be getting this 5 marks. So this is how you'll be getting these 60 marks. So if your score is 60 or higher, then you will be eligible. But like I said, even though you score 60, you do not have the connection, then you will not be getting, basically, you will not be getting those scores. So like that. So now we'll get back to our presentation again. Okay. So like I said, this is how you're going to get your score. Now we talk about the Manitoba support. That means you have a support from your family member or friends. So when you talk about this Manitoba support, you should, the person that who's supporting you should be like established resident of the province, maybe a friend, maybe a relative who's willing and able to review and endorse your plan for settling and finding employment in the destination community. That means that friend or your relative should be able to support you to settle down in Manitoba. First thing. Second thing is that person should be of your close relative or a friend or the distant relative. And also they should be able to provide the documents proving that they are reside and also they are established in Manitoba. This is this person who's supporting you. They should be able to prove they are residing in Manitoba and also they are established in Manitoba. And also they've been living in Manitoba for at least 1 year. Now the question comes, what are the documents? What are the documents that you can prove like basically what are the documents that you can provide to prove this? Those are going to be your title documents, your Manitoba health card, these kind of things. And let's say, for example, that your friend working as a temporary foreign worker in Manitoba for more than 2 years, he cannot support you. This person should be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. And also, they should be able to show the close ties to you and also to Manitoba. And also, let's say, for example, if they have previously supported someone else in past, those people also should successfully establish in Manitoba. And also, the person who's supporting you, maybe your friend, maybe your distant relative, close relative, they should be able to support for your settlement plan. What is the settlement plan? Settlement plan is mainly regarding, buying houses, regarding your career, right? Those kind of things. And like, let's say, for example, if you're getting the support from a close relative, so both applicant and the supporter must provide the documents proving the familial relationship. Let's say, for example, if I'm living in Manitoba, if I want to support my brother, I should be able to provide my birth certificate and my brother's certificate. And also the other thing is, if this close relative, they also can support for application more than one skilled worker at a time, if they can provide and if they can satisfy the provincial officer that they can support for this both skilled workers. Let's say, for example, if I want to support for my both brothers, I can support them, but I should convince the provincial officer that I can support these both people. So this is regarding the close relative. Now question comes, who are these close relatives? Close relatives may be yours or your spouse, sister or brother, niece or nephew, aunt or uncle, first cousin, mother or brother, grandmother or grandfather. These are we call the close relatives. So when we talk about the friends or the distant, like the distant relatives, their household must not be currently supporting the settlement plan of another candidate. Like I said, if you are getting the support from a close relative, they can support for a multiple people. But if you're getting the support from a friend or the distant relative, they can support only you at one time. After you establish, they can support for someone else. Right? So this is regarding the Manitoba support. Now we'll talk about the Manitoba experience. Manitoba experience is also going to be another way that you can show your connection to Manitoba. What is this Manitoba experience? If you used to work as a temporary foreign worker, full-time in Manitoba at least 6 months, that falls under Manitoba experience. If you studied in Manitoba, and also if you graduated from Manitoba, then also this gonna falls under this Manitoba experience. Now we'll talk about Manitoba invitation. When it comes to Manitoba invitation, Manitoba province regularly issue invitation to apply to qualified candidates who are identified through one of their strategic recruitment initiatives in Manitoba and overseas. If you receive an invitation, then you can have it. Let's say, for example, you receive the invitation while you live in Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, or Bangladesh, like outside Canada, then you can apply for that. Because of that invitation, you have the connection to the province of Manitoba. So now we'll talk about, so this is regarding the skilled workers, the skilled worker stream. Now we'll talk about for international students. This is very important. We know, even as the Ardent immigration, we have support many international students to settle down in Manitoba. So we'll talk about this international education stream. When you talk about this international education stream, this provide interested students who are graduating from a designated Manitoba post-secondary institution a faster method to get the nomination. There are 3 ways you can get your nomination. There are 3 streams, a sub-stream, career employment pathway, graduate internship pathway, and also international student entrepreneur pilot. First of all, we'll talk about the career employment pathway. So when you talk about this career employment pathway, this mainly provide faster nomination for post-secondary students who graduated and find a long-term employment in Manitoba in in-demand occupation. This is very important. You should be graduated from Manitoba, and also you should have a job offer in in-demand list. Not only that, it should be consistent with your training. It should comply with your training. So if you meet this condition, then you will be able to apply for Manitoba PNP. Like let's say, for example, you completed an MBA, but you're working as a cook, it's not going to work. So when you talk about this minimum requirement, your education you should be graduated in past 3 years from a institution, like a post-secondary institution, designated post-secondary education in Manitoba, from a full-time program, at least 1 year. Even though it's 8 months, that's fine. Because what the interpretation is, 2 semesters, it can equal to, even though you have completed 8 months, it gonna consider as 1 year. So your official language proficiency, maybe a French language, maybe English language, it should be CLB7. And also you should have a job offer from a Manitoba employer, minimum a 1 year contract. If you have a permanent job offer, that would be great. But if your contract is just 1 year contract in the in-demand occupation list, which is in the area that you studied in Manitoba, that's what you need. And then you should be working full-time in Manitoba on a valid work permit at the time that your application is processing, because I have my own experience. Most of the time, these provincial officers call your workplace and they're going to check whether you are still working. And also your job offer should be in tier 0, 1, 2, 3 in demand occupation list. Not every job not all jobs in demand occupation list. The jobs in the occupation mentioned in the in demand occupation list, and also it should be tier 0, 1, 2, 3. And also you should show your settlement funds. That means you should show the liquid funds that you and your family has enough money to survive. And also when it comes to the adaptability, you should be residing in Manitoba at the time of the application. And also you should show that you intend to continue to reside in Manitoba even after nomination. And also you should be able to submit a career employment plan demonstrating opportunities for a successful career track in Manitoba. So now most of you guys might have an question. What are these in-demand occupations are in Manitoba? So if you talk about this in-demand occupation, these are the Manitoba in-demand occupation. If you go to immigrate to Manitoba, their provincial website, you can get those. So there are a lot of occupation, guys. So in business, finance, and administration occupations, there's a lot of like this. And also in natural and applied sciences and related occupations are also here. And also if you get the health occupations also here, like if you get the pharmacist, right? So licensed practical nurses gonna be there. And the occupation in education, law, and social, community, and the government services are also here. And when you get the occupation in art, culture, and the recreation and sport, there are many. This is for sales and service occupations are here. So there are cooks also here. And also the trade, transport, and equipment operators and related occupations also here. There are many. And then natural resources, agriculture, and related production occupation here. And also occupation in manufacturing and utilities. So this is these are the in-demand list in Manitoba. So you graduated from Manitoba, you have a job and also minimum 1 year contract, right? And also you have a job offer, you are on PGWP, or you're on spousal open work permit, that's totally fine. You can basically apply through that stream. Okay. So this is regarding mainly under the international education stream, career employment pathway. So if we talk about the after career employment pathway, we can talk about the graduate internship pathway. The one of the advantage of this program is you don't need a job offer. Even though you don't have a job offer, you can apply for the provincial nominee. We'll see how we can apply. So let's say, for example, you are an international student. You have completed your master's and your master's or your doctoral graduates through internship, contributing to the industry innovation in Manitoba. You can apply for that. Let's say, for example, you are a graduate who completed Accelerate or the Elevate internship. That's an institute called MITIX in Manitoba. Then after your graduation, even though you don't have a job offer, you can apply to the Provincial Nominee Program. If you talk about what are the minimum requirements you need, like I said, you should have completed a master's or a doctoral program in Manitoba within last 3 years. Your language proficiency in English or in English or in French should be CLB 7 or higher. Then you should have complete an internship in Manitoba. When it comes to employment, you don't need a job offer at the time of the application. You should have the settlement funds to show that you and your family can survive. And also when it comes to adaptability, you should be residing in Manitoba at the time of the application. And also you should show your intention to continue to reside in Manitoba even after nomination, including you should submit your career employment plan demonstrating the opportunities for a successful career track in Manitoba. So this is regarding the graduate internship pathway. So what are the benefits that in the stream? After you graduated, you don't need a job offer, you can apply. So now we'll talk about International Student Entrepreneur Pilot. This is basically for international graduate who want to start their own business in Manitoba and help to the Manitoba economy. This is for you. So first of all, you should have the experience in the business. You should submit a business plan. And also you should operate the business as a senior manager on a daily basis in Manitoba at least 6 months before the nomination. And also in this business, you should own at least 51% or higher portion in the business. Since this is for the international student, your language proficiency should be in English or French, CLB 7 or higher, that is the minimum. And also, you should have complete a full-time post-secondary program in Manitoba that is at least 2 years in duration. Reason why? If you have completed a 1-year program, you're going to get just 1 year PGWP. If you completed a 2-year program, you're going to get a 2 to 3 year PGWP. And then after running this business for 6 months, then you can apply for the Manitoba nominee through this International Student Entrepreneur Pilot. And also, if you have studies, if you have the working experience, if you have the business experience in outside Canada, it's going to be a plus point for you. It's not an eligibility requirement, but it's going to be a plus point for you. And also your age should be between 21 to 35. When it comes to the adaptability, you should be working on valid open work permit at the time of the application. That means your PGWP. And also you should continuously reside in Manitoba since the graduation. And also you should show your intention to continue to reside in Manitoba even after nomination. When it comes to the net worth and the settlement funds, you don't need a deposit for that, but you should show a liquid funds. And also in this process, you will have to, like your personal net worth will be verified by a third-party supplier, which is approved, who is approved by the Manitoba nominee. And also a verification report should be submitted with your application. when you're submitting for the Manitoba nominee. And also there's another agreement that you should submit. We call the BPA. We call the Business Performances Agreement. That means after your application is approved, this Business Performance Agreement must be signed prior to MPNP issuing the approval in principal letter to implement your business plan. We call this agreement the BPA. So if someone about to graduate, if you want to start a business in Manitoba, we can definitely support. When it comes to Ardent immigration, we can support with your PR application, and when it comes to the incorporation and stuff, we can support you regarding that as well. Now we'll talk about the business investor stream. So coming back to this international education stream. So there are 3 streams, like I said, a sub-stream, career pathway, and then the graduate internship pathway, and then international student entrepreneur pathway. Now we'll talk about the business investor stream. So when you talk about this business investor stream, this stream allows Manitoba to recruit and nominate qualified business investors and entrepreneurs from around the world who have the intention and the ability to start or purchase businesses in Manitoba. There are 2 pathways available. One is going to be the entrepreneur pathway. This is for someone who has an intention to open a business or purchase a business in Manitoba. Other pathway is farm investor pathway. This is for who want to establish and operate a farm operation in rural Manitoba. So these are the 2 pathways. So we'll talk about first the entrepreneur pathway. So when you talk about the entrepreneur pathway, the provincial officer should convince that you have experience in business. So what are the experience that you should have? You should have minimum 3 years of full-time work experience in past 5 years, either as a active business, the active business owner, or you should be working as a senior manager role of a successful business. But if you were a business owner, you should have more privileges, because what their intention is, if you own a business, you have more practical experience. So if you gonna do this application as a business owner, you should have at least 33.33% ownership of that business. And also when it comes to the language proficiency in English or French, you should have minimum level of CLB 5. When it comes to education, you should have the minimum of high school equivalency. When it comes to the net worth, your net worth should be 500,000. So most of the people are kind of confused about what is this net worth and what is the investment. Net worth is when it comes to your properties, your jewelries, stocks, these kind of things can be shown of your whole family. Investment is the liquid money that you deposit, that you should invest to the business. So when it comes to the net worth, like I said, the minimum net worth is 500,000, and also your personal net worth going to verified by a third-party supplier, which is approved by the Manitoba nominee, and also a verification report along with the application should be submitted to the provincial the Manitoba nominee within 120 days of receiving your LAA, we call letter of advice to apply. Now we'll talk about the investment. When it comes to the investment, minimum investment, let's say for example, you're gonna have this business in Winnipeg, which is the main city. Your minimum investment should be 250,000 Canadian dollars. If you're gonna have the business in outside Winnipeg, your minimum investment should be 150,000 Canadian dollars. So when it comes to this proposed business, it should create or maintain at least one job offer for a Canadian citizen or the permanent resident in Manitoba, excluding the owner. Like there are sometimes when you run a business, you can work as you can be an employee of the business. But except the owner, excluding the owner, you should be able to create another job for a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident in Manitoba. And also the details of the business investment should be presented as a business plan in this application. And also as a part of this stream, you should be able to submit a research visit. We call this exploratory visits. Like let's say, for example, you're living in outside Canada and you want to buy a business. It's not like you're buying something from Amazon or something. You should visit to Canada, especially to Manitoba, meet people, meet those government officers, meet the people who are going to sell those businesses, and then you should collect their business cards, and then you should submit a report along with this application. That means you should show that you are genuine when you're buying this business. So when it comes to the adaptability, these are the factors that can help your profile to be approved. If your spouse has the English or French CLB 5 or higher, if you or your spouse or your common law partner, if they have close relatives currently residing in Manitoba more than 1 year, and if your child enrolled in a Manitoba institution at least 6 months prior to this application, and if you or your accompanying spouse or your common law partner have completed a program of full-time study at least 1 year at a post-secondary institution in Manitoba, these factors can give a positive impact on your application. One of the best part is, in this stream, there's no age limit. There's no minimum or maximum age limit, but recommended between age of 25 to 49. 25 to 49. So now we'll talk about the next entrepreneur pathway, the farm investor pathway. So when you talk about this farm investor pathway, this is for people who want to own and operate a farm in Manitoba. So when it comes to the business experience, you must have a minimum of 3 years of farm ownership and operation experience, and also that should be verified by the documents. When it comes to the investment, the minimum investment should be 300,000. This is kind of lower because you'll be starting your farm in rural Manitoba. And also you are expected to establish a farming business in rural Manitoba, like I said, and also you should submit a business plan as a part of this application as well. And also this stream also you should provide a research visit. And also when it comes to the net worth, your net worth should be 500,000. So net worth is 500,000. Minimum investment is 300,000. So this is regarding the farm investor pathway. So next we'll talk about the step-by-step. If you want to apply for Manitoba nominee application process, what's gonna be your process? First, what you should do is you should provide your expression of interest that you have an intention to become a permanent resident in Manitoba. So for that, you should submit an online profile with the details about your education, work experience, and ties to Manitoba. And then you're going to receive a letter, we call the letter of advice to apply, LAAA. So if selected, applicant get the invitation to submit a full application. And then you submit the full application to Manitoba. So you provide the proof of qualifications, finances, and the settlement plan. And then after that, you're gonna receive the nomination. So if you're approved, you're gonna receive the nomination. This nomination valid for 6 years. 6 months, that means 180 days, not 6 years, 6 months, 180 days. And within 180 days, you should apply, you should apply your PR application to the federal government. I'll show you one of a document that I found recently, which is important to me. This is my nomination certificate that I received back in 2018. My name is here. So they mentioned that your date of birth, nomination certificate. So this is the day that I did my application in 2018, January 8th. So I received my nomination on I did my application on January 6th, 2018. So I got my nomination in 2018, April 5th. That means almost within 3 months. So this nomination valid for 6 months from April 5th to October 5th. And it mentioned your employer, your occupation, and your date of birth. And also this nomination, they says, that this is not valid for express entry, because by that time I had no express entry. I just applied for the provincial nominee. But let's say, for example, if I had an express entry profile, when I create my provincial nominee profile, in the provincial nominee profile, they're going to ask what is my job seeker code, what is my express entry profile number, those kind of things. And then this specifically says the CIC must receive your complete application before the nomination certificate expiry date of October 5th, 2018. So that's regarding that. Yeah. Okay. So that's regarding that is the nomination, mainly the nomination certificate. So so this is basically the step-by-step to apply for the Manitoba application process. So next one, we'll talk about this category-based express entry, category-based selection. This is very important because I know that many of the students and also like who are on work permit, you need to apply for the express entry and also for the provincial nominees as well. So let's talk about what are the new announcements that they made for express entry. This is very, very important. So for that, rather than going from my slide, I'll go with the government website. Yeah. So this is basically the express entry category-based selection. So when it comes to this category-based selection, that means before this has been introduced, how that happened, the immigration conducted a general draws. So when they conducted a general draws, they want to invite to around 4,000, 4,500, sometimes 7,000, 8,000 candidates. But with the time being, the amount of people that they wanna invite goes low, like about 4,000, 3,000 like that, because otherwise, if they invite like about 10,000, 7,000 candidates, then there are going to be a huge backlog of applications, because once you receive the invitation, you have only 60 days to submit your profile. Then what they did, after that, they realized there are some occupation categories that they don't have much people. Because when you have the general draw, regardless of your category of occupation, if you have the working experience on tier 0, 1, 2, 3, you receive the invitation. Then, like I said, they divide this occupation into categories, and they introduce this category-based selection. So when it comes to the category-based selection, the changes that they have done recently, these are the 6 categories they have basically introduced. In this category, this French language proficiency, this is very, very important. I will explain it later. And what they did, when it comes to this healthcare, social service occupation, STEM category, trade occupation, agriculture, and agri-food occupations, they move out some occupations, they add some occupation for this category. And also we had another category called the transport occupations. They remove it, like the truck drivers like that, and then they add the education occupations. This is a major update, major change they have done. Why? Because they add this education occupation. These are, if you have working experience in these categories: elementary and secondary school teacher assistant, instructor of persons with disabilities, early childhood educators and assistants, elementary school and kindergarten teachers, secondary school teachers. If you have working experience, the main thing is at least 6 months, if you have working experience at least 6 months, within past 3 years, you can apply for express entry. Let's say, for example, you don't have this 6 months working experience, but if you have 1 year part-time experience, it gonna equal for the 6 months full-time working experience. Then this gonna be a major update for you if you are in this field. And when it comes to healthcare categories, these are the healthcare categories they have added. And then also they have added the STEM categories. They have taken many IT field. They have included the civil engineers, those kind of things. And then when it comes to the trade occupation, one of a major thing, and we have received almost over 300 inquiries adding this cook position. And also I have done a video regarding that I'll be discussing this one later. And also they have at this agriculture and agri-food occupation, but they have only one, just butchers and retail and wholesales. And the other one is the education occupation. Let's talk about why this category base is very important. These are the recent draws they have done. So let's imagine now we into like 2025, we don't have to think about 2024. So when you see this from up here, from January 7th, you can see this Canadian experience class. They have invited 1,350, CRS score is 542. They have done another Canadian experience class, 4,000 invitation, 527. Another Canadian experience class, this is the last draw before this category-based selection was introduced, 4,521. You can see this year, they start from 542, 527, 521. It's going down, but still the cutoff mark is very high. Still they're providing maximum is 4,000, 1,350. But this is the first category base invitation comes after category thing. The category based selection was introduced. 4,500, cutoff mark is 410. Okay, see if you go down, see any invitation, any cutoff mark, there was nothing below 410. This is the first page. There are more 14 pages over there. But however, if you can see, this is the lowest cutoff mark. This is the lowest cutoff mark that they have given. This is the French language proficiency. This is why studying French is very, very important. Maybe you are on PGWP, you are about to expire your PGWP. You might be thinking, oh my God, I'll have to go back home. Or otherwise, you are on LMIA-based work permit. Your employer is not willing to extend your LMIA. French language is very, very important. As Ardent, what we do is we help our clients to get their PR. We know as an immigrant, I came as a student to Canada back in 2014. Back in 2014. I know how badly I wanted to become a permanent resident. I know, and as a team, we know that's going to be your intention as well. That's why we are trying to give you guys the ways, like earlier, like all the consultations that I have done recently, I have explained to my clients. Earlier, there were very direct pathways to get the PR. Now, there are some loopholes, I don't use the word shortcuts, they are kind of long cuts. So those kind of things that, that you have to use to get the PR. So, and the other important thing that I want to show you is February 19th, cutoff mark is 428. They invited 6,500 invitation. But even though cutoff mark was 410, almost 18. Almost 18 points below, they could only invite 4,500. If they could invited 6,500 over here, then cutoff will be at least 390 or 400. This is, I believe, you guys can see. What is the benefit of studying French language? Other thing is, I discuss about the people who are on LMIA. I know your employers might not be comfortable of extending or like applying another LMIA because you'll be working in urban areas and your employer might not be comfortable of giving you $30, $35, $40 per hour. And also some employers might be asking money even to extend to apply for another LMIA. Some of might have applied for LMIA and waiting for that. Let me share this one with you. This is one evidence that I have. I contacted regarding one of my employer. This documents I received on March 3rd. I contacted them on February 20th, 2025. And also my employer also contacted the services counter. They say, please note we are assigning LMI applications received as of March 20th, 2024. Guys, it's almost an year. They are assessing the applications received on last year, March 20th. This I received on March 3rd, 2025. So now you can get an idea about how slow these LMIS are processing. So if you have completed French language proficiency under the Mobility Francophone program without a LMIA, by getting an LMIA exempt code, you can extend your close work permit. The benefit of this is you're gonna get the LMIA exempt code within 2 to 3 minutes. Only thing you have to do is just submit very simple application through an employer portal. Once you get the LMIA exempt code, you can apply, you can extend your work permit. But you should complete the French language exams. We call the TCF, TEF. Miss Adika has more knowledge than myself. I only know about those two names. So if you completed that language test, that also I believe same like that IELTS, that also has speaking, listening, reading, writing. So if your score is CLB 5 or higher, get the LMIA exempt code. And the other thing is there's no cap. When it comes to LMIA, urban cities, so hard to get the LMIA approval and the LMIA decisions. Plus, many LMIs are refusing because immigration want employees to give priority for the Canadian citizen and the permanent residents in Canada. They want many people to go out of the country. When it comes to this Mobility Francophone program, there's no cap at all. They can provide the LMI exempt codes any amount they want, but that's as of now. If they realize this is something going bad, this is something go against their objectives, sometimes they might change, they might bring some changes. But as of now, basically, that is the situation. Okay. So this is regarding that. So I told you about after in this express entry, this trade occupation. Once they introduced this cook position, there were many inquiries came for us. So let's talk about cooks. When it comes to cook, if your job position, this is the Service Canada website, if your position falls under this, right, you're gonna consider as a cook. What gonna be your job duties? This job duties is very important. These are the job duties that you're gonna have. The prepare and cook complete meals and individual dishes and foods. Schedule and supervise kitchen helpers. Overseas kitchen operations. When it comes to the employment, you should complete a secondary school is usually required. And also if you have completed a 3-year apprenticeship, that would be great. This part is very important. Let's say, for example, you're a cook and your IELTS is kind of general. You don't have higher IELTS, but you have not reached the level. But if you have completed this trade qualification, you're going to get 50 marks. We call the certificate of qualification. There are competent authorities. I also have done a video regarding that. These are competent authorities. If you have received that one, then you're going to get 50 points. Certificate of qualification and certificate of apprenticeship is different. Your certificate should mention as a certificate of qualification. This trade qualification you can get regarding any trade, not regarding cooks. I got this cook as an example because we were receiving many calls regarding that. And the other thing is, people think this when you have the red seal endorsement, you're gonna get 50 marks. No, red seal endorsement is a seal that put on your certificate. You're not gonna get 50 points for that. But this is the trade certification. If you have that, you're gonna get 50 marks. like some of some of you guys might be worried about, because of LMIA does not award 50 points, then you don't have any way to get the 50 points. This is the way you can get the 50 points. Other reason I discuss about this cook position, there are many people even also through KMAS who came through us. They're working as KFC, McDonald's, A&W, those kind of places. They're going to call on us, is my job position goes as a cook. Your position does not goes as a cook. I'll tell you why. This is the Service Canada website. Like I said, this is your job position, food counter attendant. How come it is different from what you're doing as a cook? See this one. If you use the deep fryer, grill, oven, dispensers, and other equipment to prepare fast food items such as sandwiches, hamburgers, fries, salad, ice cream dishes, milkshakes, and other beverages, if this is, you're going to fall under food counter attendant. You're not a cook. So don't get confused. Regarding that. So this is regarding the category-based selection. So if you have any questions regarding the case specifically, you can definitely contact us, then we will be able to definitely help you. And now we'll discuss a little bit about the discussion, like the announcement that they did recently. So before that, I'll go a little bit go through this. This is the immigration plan for the 2025 to 2027. They have specifically mentioned over here. In 2025, priority categories include healthcare occupation, trade occupation, French language proficiency, and also when you get a chance, many inquiries received regarding this home care provider and also home support, child care support program, which will be opening on March 31st. You can read about that, or if you have any question, you can contact us too. So this is regarding the plan. Now we'll talk about the announcement that they made yesterday, March 7th, which is yesterday. So immigration minister said, if you are out of status in Canada, if you are a construction worker and working in Greater Toronto area, there's a pathway coming. You can work legally and apply for the PR. This says, in effort to build on the success of initiatives such as out-of-status construction workers in Greater Toronto Area pilot, IRCC intends to create a pathway that would offer opportunities for undocumented immigrants. Yes, undocumented immigrants. Maybe you don't have a way to extend your work permits, but you're still working illegally, still you have a chance to get the PR in Canada. Undocumented immigrants in the construction sector. These undocumented migrants are already living and working in Canada and are contributing to the sector, and this pathway will keep them here legally so they can continue to build homes and our economy and communities need with the proper protection. Other best thing in this announcement is they mention, finally, to support foreign apprentices in construction programs and to address the current labor market needs in the construction sector, we are also introducing a temporary measures to allow foreign apprentices to complete their studies without a work permit. This is very important, guys. Without a work permit. Plus, other thing is effective today, which is March 7th. Effective today, they can study without a student permit. By removing these administrative barriers, apprentices will be able to gain the valuable skills they need to contribute to infrastructure projects more quickly. So this is basically the basically announcement that the immigration made. So now the question is, what are these occupations? What are these construction related occupations? So when you see these eligible occupations under tier 3, So you have the construction managers, home building renovation managers, like that. So this is the occupation under tier 1, occupation under tier 2, and the occupation under tier 3. So this is regarding the latest, basically the latest announcement that immigration made recently regarding the construction workers. So as you can see, even though there are strict regulations introducing, there are still ways in Canada that you can get the PR, you can extend your work permits and stay in Canada, and when the time comes, apply for the PR. So like that. So if you talk about a little bit about the key takeaways from this, from this webinar, especially this Manitoba nominee, this mainly offers the multiple pathways for skilled workers, international graduates, and the entrepreneurs. So in order to success, you need to have strong connection to Manitoba, maybe working, maybe studying, maybe the family support. And also you should meet the education, work experience, and the language requirements, showing your financial stability and your intention to settle in Manitoba even after nomination, even after receiving the permanent residency, and also other benefits are mainly there are faster processing than the federal programs, and also there are opportunities for permanent residency and the career growth in Manitoba. And also there are clear and very structured pathways for newcomers to integrate into the province's economy. So even I got my permanent residency through Manitoba. So guys, this is regarding our webinar regarding the Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, and also the category-based selections that they have introduced recently, and also the announcement that they did yesterday. So I know there are many people who joined with us, like many nationalities. So then we had to conduct this webinar in English language. So future we are planning to do same same webinars in single language. So like that. So I'll hand it over to Miss Kaumadi to introduce our new team member, our French language tutor, instructor, to you guys, and then and over to you, Ms. Kamadi.
Thank you, Mr. Sashra. I hope I'm audible to everyone. It was quite a lot of information to grasp, I think, but I hope everyone got the answers to the questions you all had in mind. And for the questions you all put on the chat, we are expecting to answer them shortly. So just bear with us a few more minutes, because this is the good part I was talking to you about. We are going to introduce our French instructor so that you guys can, if you all are looking to go for a francophone program, or about maybe to add French skills into your profile, this is the chance for you to learn some French and then improve your profile for PR as well. So we are going to introduce Miss Sadika Santosh. I would ask Miss Sadika to take over and tell you guys a bit about her, as well as French as a language. So over to you, Miss Sadika.
Hello, I hope you guys can hear me. Am I audible to y'all?
Yes,
yes,
Miss
Sadika.
Sadika, yes. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
Miss Sadika, I think you're on mute.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, my name is Sadika Santoshi, and I'm a dedicated French teacher with 4 years of experience. And I'm passionate about sharing the beauty of French language and the culture with my students as well. So, if we talk about, if I talk about the TEF exam, like so the TEF exam is an official test recognized by the Immigration, Refugees, and the Citizenship Canada, IRCC, for French language proficiency. So I think Ardent Immigration offers a structured and a result-oriented French TEF program to help you to prepare for the TEF Canada exam and to improve your French proficiency for migration and permanent residency applications. So if I talk about the TEF text structure, this exam consists of 4 sections like listening, reading, speaking, and writing. And for each section, they have given a time limit as well. For listening part, they are giving you 40 minutes, and for the reading part, they are giving you 60 minutes. For speaking, they are giving you 15 minutes, as well as for writing, they are giving you 60 minutes. So this program will cover all the 4 sections as I mentioned earlier. So, and also we will provide you all the necessary resources that you need to get ready for this exam. So I hope you have a clear understanding of the exam structure and what it takes you to achieve a high score. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out for more details and to enroll. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sadika, for joining today with us and for your time. We hope all you guys will have a fantastic session with Ms. Sadika in learning French and getting your scores improved for permanent residency. So we have come to the final stage of the webinar today. This is the Q&A session coming up. I will again hand over the platform to Mr. Sachira to go through the questions you guys have posted and to provide the replies to the questions you guys have.
Okay. So you can hear me, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
So the first question they were asked about the age limit. So when it comes to like age limit, it depends on the stream, right? I mentioned in like most of the stream what going to be the age limit. Like when it comes to business stream, there's no age limit, but when it comes to other streams, there are going to be an age limit because like when it comes to Canada, what they want is they want to give priority for young professionals. So always there are going to be an age limit except for the entrepreneur programs. So let's say, and the other thing is if there is any possibility to apply a province from another province, example, I'm in BC. If I like to, oh yeah, yes, there's a stream that you can apply. Let's say, for example, you studied in BC, and but you have a like a job offer in Manitoba. You can move, work 1 year. You can apply for Manitoba PNP. Is there any chance for healthcare workers? Yes, there are many chances for healthcare workers, not only Manitoba, in other provinces as well. Like for example, healthcare workers, you have the AIP program, and also if you are in Canada, you can apply for the Home Support Worker Program, which will be opening on March 31st. And there are LMIS you can apply. In BC, you have a separate stream for that. If you got a job offer from there are around 6-7 institute, if you have a job offer, working experience, you can apply for that. The IT professionals work at Sri Lanka can apply for this program. Yes, you can. There are if you have a job offer from Manitoba. So like since we see since we talk about the Manitoba nominee, I will relate most general questions regarding Manitoba. So we did the same way for BC and in BC and Saskatchewan as well. When you ask question, I related to that province. So since you're asking about the IT profession, yes, you can apply. Like there are streams available in Manitoba. How can this support for civil engineers to get the PR in Manitoba? When it comes to civil engineers, you are under basically in demand list. If you have a job offer, you can apply. If there's any opportunities for experienced teachers, like I said, when it comes to category base, if you have 6 months working experience within last 3 years, you can apply for the express entry and also to Manitoba as well. How can we obtain a job offer? There are recruitment agencies that you can contact, and also through Job Bank, there are other platforms that you can contact. When you see these job advertisements, you can apply. The best way I would say the LinkedIn. It also another possible way, and also other way is through the recruitment agencies. So Ardent has the Ardent recruitment management. Ardent recruitment. You also can contact them as well. And also, they have mentioned, I think as a Sri Lankan people, most of us do not have close relationships in Canada. Maybe, but let's say, for example, if you have a close friend, maybe not a relationship, but a friend, yes, still you can. What are the other provincial nomination program which we can ignore, that I mean not compulsory for the close relatives? Most of the when it comes to the when it comes to provincial nominees, what province gonna see is what is your connection to that province. One way is this relationship. Other way, let's say for example, if you have an LMIA based job offer, that also gonna be another way that you can apply for the provincial nominees if you do not have the close relationships. I have HND in medical laboratory technology from Sri Lanka and over 7 years of experience as a medical laboratory technologist. Can I apply for medical laboratory assistant in Manitoba? Yes, you can. And also under the category base, also this job occupation also were there, as I remember. And also, what are the clear pathway to PR? Who is person born, graduated, and working all in Sri Lanka without having close relative in Canada? If you have completed masters, if you have higher in IELTS, higher in French, and your age is kind of between like below 30, you can still apply for the express entry. If you have completed French, there's a higher possibility right now you can receive invitation, because what immigration want is to spread French speaking individual outside of Quebec, because Quebec is the main province who's speaking only French. Also, it is appreciated you can give some answers about IRCC plans to draw in this year. I mean, approximate timeline that you have. The best thing I would say, you can go through that the 2025-2027 immigration plan. You can get an idea. So right now, what they're going to do is they're going to give priority for those category-based elections, and then as I showed earlier, when it comes to the benefit of that is when they conduct this category based, they can lower the cutoff mark. If they conduct a general express entry, what's going to happen? The cutoff mark is higher. So if you fall under one of these categories, higher possibility you're going to receive the invitation. I live in BC and I have more than 60 points under the Manitoba point system. I have a relation, not blood relatives, and he likes to offer support. Can I apply for skill overseas? Yes, you can, because you have a connection and also you have more than 60. If you want, you can contact us. We can support with your application. What if you got an MP nomination and submitted your PR application through non-express entry? Your employer refused to support your work permit extension, and your application is refused for work permit. What are your options? Nomination is not your employer restrict. So basically, let's say for example, you apply for your PR and your employer refused to support, right? the main thing is you should check with the employer. First thing, usually the employers are supporting for them. It's not their responsibility. As ethical way, they support. If they're not supporting, the only option that you have is find another employer. If you're on open work permit is easy, but if you're on closed work permit, you have to find another LMIE. But if you completed French, if another employer willing to apply and get an LMIE exempt code, you can apply right away without an issue. But make sure second employer willing to support your PR. And then the definition on the apprentices. Will somebody with a degree or diploma in civil engineering and a few years of experience fall under this category? Yes. So when it comes to the apprentices, even though you a civil engineer, fully completed civil engineer, when you move to Canada, you can still can be working as that you can still be an apprentice. You have to complete, you have to tally your education to the Canadian level. So let's say, for example, even though I was a lawyer in Sri Lanka, in the process of becoming an lawyer in Canada, I had to do a student at law, like kind of apprentices, kind of a practical. So still, even though you're a civil engineer in outside Canada, like outside Canada, that you can still be an apprentice. Can I have the details for the French classes? What you can do is you can contact us. We can definitely give you those details. And also after this session, we'll be putting the email address and the contact details of our the French language tutor. You can contact her and then get it done your classes, and then get the required score, apply for the PR, be a permanent resident in Canada. And then will someone who has not been educated in Canada but is working on an LMIA work permit be selected for the PNP or the EOI? Yes, you can. Even you don't need to have the education. That's why we call the system called WES. If your education is outside Canada, you can apply for the WES qualification, which is the Canadian equivalency. Then you can do that. And then actually, I'm on TFW as a shelf stocker, but my background in hospitality, and I have worked as a restaurant supervisor and a line cook. During the COVID, I lost a job and I changed to retail. That is the reason I got an opportunity. Now I'm unable to get back to hospitality. And I have done my bachelor in culinary arts and management. I need your advice. Is there any possibility to change my job from shelf stock to cook? Yes. If you have a LMIA base, LMIA based job offer, you can change your position to cook. If a restaurant owner, if he can complete French, if he can get LMIA exempt code through the Mobility Francophone program, you can convert it into a cook. Because the reason why you work as a restaurant supervisor, you have working experience as a line cook, and also you have the bachelor's in culinary arts. You have the skill training and education to work as a cook. In interested student career pathway, do we need to show settlement funds if you are already in full-time permanent job? If you are inside Canada, it's not a must to meet that settlement funds because you're already working in Canada and also you studied in Canada. But if you're applying from outside Canada, yes. This is not related to Manitoba. I'm in BC, and after completing my MBA in Canada, I'm now working as an accountant. Due to my age, it's difficult to achieve high express entry points. So my only option are PNP and the international graduate stream. I need your guidance. What you can do is you can contact us. The graduate stream, they'll be opening. They mentioned that they're gonna reopen in the future. If you have completed MBA in UCW, the UCW gonna be in the list. Because I know that many students who came to Canada, their age is high, but many agencies brought them to Canada and they got the commission from from the colleges. They don't even care about your PR. They only care about their commission. As Ardent, what we do is we do not bring who are kind of higher age people to those provinces. We always bring them to Atlantic provinces. What is the advantage will be doing another in our webinar series we'll be doing next few months regarding the AIP the Atlantic provincial nominee programs as well. Let's say, for example, you have studied a 2-year program. As soon as if you have a job offer, there's no age limit. You can apply for the AIP. So like that. So you can contact us. We can do a consultation and we can see what is your possibilities. So if someone is in visitor status, and will it be possible to follow a course in construction field or supporting for health care or early childhood programs? If you are in Canada on visitor visa, you can apply for a student visa. Based on the new stream they have they have introduced, which is yesterday, even you are on out of status, you can still study in construction field without a study permit. So even you on visitor visa, contact us. We can support you to convert your student visitor visa to a student permit. We have time that who had the like the visitor visa, and then they had no enough time to get the offer letter, right? So what we did, since you on visitor visa for 6 months, we extend their visitor visa for 1 year as the we call the visitor record, and while he's on visitor record, we convert his
Mr. Sashira, we can't hear you. You are stuck.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
Oh, okay, perfect. Ms. Kamadi, where you did not hear me from? Is it from the
You were
visitor visa
saying,
thing?
yes, visitor record.
Yeah, okay. So I'll tell you this story. Like, sorry about the technical issue. So we had a client who was on visitor visa. He was about to expire his visitor visa. So we had to convert his visitor visa to a student visa. So what we did, we applied for a visitor record. The reason why, what was the reason? We applied to a university, we got the acceptance letter. Based on the acceptance letter, we applied for a 1-year visitor record. Then we had 1 year to convert his visitor record to a student visa. So we can do that way. And then the next question is, if we continue working in the same field of study, if we continue to working in the same field of studies, can we apply for permanent residency without waiting 6 months? Yes, there are options that you can apply there without working 6 months, but that's under, like, if you have done an internship in that, like if you have completed a master's or PhDs, and if you have completed an internship, then only. But most of the time, you need at least 6 months working experience in Manitoba to apply for the permanent residency. There are exceptions. You can contact us. We can see your profile, see the possibilities that you can apply for permanent residency in Manitoba without working experience. I'm currently studying masters in BC University. My spouse got a job offer in tech field from a BC employer. Can we apply for express entry? Yes, you can. Applying spouse as a main applicant while I'm studying. Yes, you can. We have done this work this for a couple of students, but not recently. Before this, to be honest, before this change, these rules change, because when we realize they have a higher profile and the cutoff mark is lower, once the 1-year working experience completed, or even though from outside Canada points, if we realize the spouse has the enough point to receive the invitation, while the main applicant studying, we have applied for express entry and they got the nomination, then apply for the PR. By the time the main applicant finished their studies, whole family got the PR. So I'm looking your advice. Is there any possibility to apply for PR or any other programs? As you said, only chance if we study French. This is thing. Even though you don't have French, you can get the PR. However, studying French improve your possibility getting your PR. So it's basically two different things. Like don't get misunderstood. Even though you don't have French, you can still get the PR. But if you have French, your cutoff, your CRS score gonna go higher possibility you can receive the invitation. I hope that I answered that question. And then do we have to arrange show money for study permit a person who is in Canada? I would recommend you should show, even though you are applying from outside Canada, inside Canada while you're on visit visa, make sure that you have enough funds to study in Canada. You have a higher possibility that your student permit might approved because you're already in Canada on visitor visa. You have shown the immigration that you are compliant with the immigration rules. It's not a crime to convert your visitor visa to a student permit, and it's not a crime that you did not mention when you come into Canada that you want to study in Canada. That's totally fine. But when it comes to show money, make sure that you show enough money in your bank account, that you have enough funds to complete your studies and also to survive in Canada without working. So what immigration intention means, like, and also you might have seen many spousal open work permit refusals. What their intention means when you show very limited amount, since the unemployment rate is higher, when a spouse come to Canada, they will not be able to find a job. What immigration want to see is, even though you're not doing a job, even though you are entitled to receive a work permit, open work permit, you have enough funds in your bank account to survive even without a job. So not showing this thing is higher possibility we can see higher spousal open work permit refusals. And then is a job opportunity offer must to get a PR. Most of the time you need to have a job offer, because the thing is, when a province nominating, when federal government giving you the invitation to become a permanent resident, you should be able to economically valuable to the country. How you going to be economically valuable? While you're working, you might have seen in your beautiful payslip, you're paying a lot of taxes to the government. That is how you will be helping to the economy. So you need to have a job offer to get the PR. When it comes to immigration, I believe, is going to be the second highest income to Canada. So the next question is, I'm in Sri Lanka. I visited once in Canada last year, I believe on visit visa. I'm now myself and my wife holding Canadian visitor visa. Okay. I'm having a UK degree and MBA as well. My wife also having a degree and OTHM PGD. So is there any legal pathway to settle own and get PR? There are numerous ways when it comes to PR. There are numerous ways. What I would recommend is we have to see your profile to see what is based on your profile, what going to be the plan that we can have with a timeline to get the PR. What is the possibility? If there's a possibility, what is the plan? What is the timeline? You can contact us. We can do a consultation. My wife completed MBA at UCW, and with the demand list changing, she's now work as a ECEA for past 4 months. I'm working remotely to an employer in Quebec. What are our avenue given that we are in early 40s? When it comes to early 40s, to be honest, they're going to be very very tough time, but contact us. If your wife completed an MBA, there will be international graduate stream coming. You can apply for that, and there's a stream for early childhood educators. You can apply for that, even though you working remotely with an employer in Quebec. You can contact us. We can see the possibilities. How can someone studying a Bachelor of Biomedical Science in Manitoba apply for PR? What kind of jobs are in demand for PR in science field through this degree? So during the webinar, I showed in demand list. If you have a job in that list, you studied in Manitoba, you graduated from Manitoba, you have CLB 7, you have a job offer in that in-demand occupation list, and also you have at least 6 months working experience, you will be eligible for the provincial nominee. What you can do is go to Migrate to Manitoba website, search on in-demand occupation list. There are a lot of occupation. 100% I'm sure that you'll be able to find a job. And also I have seen, for one of a bad comment recently I saw on French. I don't know whether that person joined with us today. And I have seen, even though people putting on bad comments, they join with us our webinars. Even though I said that there are ways that you can get the jobs in Manitoba, it's hard. I know finding a job is hard. I know there are people, even in my time, I have friends who could not find a job, but I could find a job. The winter is super harsh over there. I printed out many resumes from Staples. I went all the places. Within a week, I could find a job. But I work as a dishwasher. It doesn't matter how you start. The matter I always is how you end. So finding a job is easy, but you should not be super choosy when you find a job. Whatever the job coming, get that job. Build up your network. Do volunteer work. Build up your resume. That's very easy to find the job. There are many people finding a job in that way. So the last question I'll be answering, could you please explain about the caregiver pilot program, including the processing time? I have done a different separate video for that. You can always follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I have a specifically went through step by step, and Mr. Amadi also did a video regarding that. I'll give you a brief introduction about this program. This program is right now they're going to open on March 31st. This is still, and then recently they announced this program is only for the people from inside Canada. This is a very, very good program for you guys. Let's say, for example, even though you don't have working experience, you can apply for this program. Even though you have working experience over 6 months, you can apply for the direct PR. Even though you are on impaired status, you can apply. Let's say, for example, you're working as a cook, you on PGWP, your PGWP gonna expire. You have a person who they want you to take care of their child. You don't have working experience, you can apply. After gaining 6 months working experience, you can apply for the PR. Let's say, for example, during this process, you apply for the work permit. While your work permit is processing, you complete your 6 months, you can inform the immigration officer or the immigration through a web form. My 6 months is complete. You can provide your pay stubs, those kind of documents, and then basically you can apply for the PR. Let's say, for example, you have 6 months working experience. You found a family, their mother or their father is in in a very bad situation, like due to illness, due to sickness. Their age is over 65. And their income is good. And then if you have working experience, even though you don't have working experience, if they're willing to give you a job offer, you can apply for that. So this is a very great program, but the thing is, you should gather all the documents before March 31st. There are going to be a cap, maybe 3,500, maybe 3,000. Once it is reached, they're gonna close the applications. Usually this program start on every January 1st of every year. And there were sometimes they had to close it within 2-3 days because they allow for 2,500 or 2,750 applications. So this is a very great program if you want to get the PR. So like I said, guys, you can see, even though the situation getting tough, still there are ways that you can get the PR. I have seen on Facebook some bad comments, or these people are lying, there's no any ways. That means their knowledge is limited. That is why they're putting like that. There are many ways that you can get PR. But what country do is, country gonna change their immigration rules in a way that they want based on their objectives. So we have to change according to that. You might like studying French, right? So trying to extend your study permit or the work permits in Canada. Maybe enroll for another student permit. There are ways. Right. So in order to get it done, you can definitely contact us. Even though you do not contact us, do not fall into scams. Call immigration consultant or immigration lawyers. Call them, they know about immigration. Do not get advices from those TikToks, right? Who get them their PR by themselves. They might get PR by themselves, but long time back, that situation is different. I cannot, if I'm not an immigration lawyer or immigration consultant, I cannot advise you guys in a way that I got my PR back in 2017. Their story is different. Your story is different. If your visa refused, they are not responsible. So it's totally up to you to decisions on your hand. Now the situation is tough. Contact an immigration consultant. Contact an immigration lawyer. Get the advice. See the best ways that you can extend your permits and also get the permanent residence. So I believe these are all the questions. I believe I think I answers all the questions, and the other thing is mainly you'll be able to get the contact details of our French language tutor. Then you can contact her, and then we can go from there. Over to you, Kamali.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sashira, for answering almost all. I think we answered all the questions that were posted on the chat. So, if you guys still do have questions, maybe after you just exit the webinar, something might just cross the mind. You never know. Do email us. Our email address is contact@ardentcanadavisa.com. And also, you can see the phone number, our website, and again, the email address showing on the screen. So if you just want to contact us, if you think you will be needing the contact details, you can just click a picture of it. Like Mr. Sashira said earlier, we will be conducting another webinar, another episode of the webinar series on the AIP program. That is also one of the most sorted PR pathways available in Canada. So we will be posting the details of the webinar episode in the coming future. And we hope all you guys would join the webinar too. And thank you so much for joining with us today. You will be able to see the recording of the video on our social media handles as well in the coming future. And once again, thank you very much. And we hope you learned a lot. We are Ardent Law Group and Ardent Immigration. You know the contact details and where to find us. We hope your PR journey would be a success without much of hassle. And we are always here to help you if you need the help. Okay, guys, thank you very much again. If you're joining from Sri Lanka, you guys have a good day ahead. And if you are joining from Canada, we hope you have a blessed night. See you again with our next episode of the webinar series.